G'day, Ben from Melbourne here, and today I would like to feature some of my records in my collection of Nick Cave and related. Um, yeah, been a big fan of the man for a long time. First started going to see him around 92, I think it was, on the Henry's Dream Tour, and as far as I know, I haven't missed a tour since then. Always amazing live, always surprising, and the same can be said on record. Of course, Nick Cave from rural Victoria, grew up in Warrnambool. Both parents were teachers, and then moved to Melbourne, got sent to Melbourne Grammar because apparently he was causing a bit of trouble in the country, and caused more mayhem from that point on. um, and early it was in part of that early St Kilda scene in Australia, which featured a lot of great bands of that time playing, the legendary Seaview Ballroom. Sadly, too young to have ever been there, but sounds like it was the place to be back then, for fashion filmmakers, music, and the like. So I guess I'll start at the start with what I've got. By no means do I have everything, so I'm going to start with his fellow Melbourne Grammar boys, and the band The Boys Next Door. Started off with Phil Calvert on drums, Mick Harvey on guitar. He's been his right-hand man for a long time and can play anything. Tracy Pugh on bass, of course, Nick Cave on vocals, and then later on a young Roland S. Howard, who was formerly in the Young Charlatans and brought his magnificent song Shivers with him, which apparently Nick Cave regrets the fact that he never let Roland sing that on this album. This is a reissue which came out a couple of years ago. To find an original is rare as hen's teeth and probably cost you a fortune. Very, very young there, as you can see. I think if I'm right, that was the second side that features Roland, and the first side was already recorded. There were like a few boys next door, 7 Inches. They did a cover of Nancy Sinatra's These Boots Are Walking, and appeared on a Missing Link compilation. This one comes on a nice red coloured vinyl. And of course, the song everyone knows off this is Shivers. It was originally on Mushroom Records. Come out 1980, I believe. Apparently they weren't happy with the results. Sounded a bit too slick a new wave for them. And had already, interestingly enough, it says there's a thanks to Tony Cohen, who was the engineer, long-time collaborator with Birthday Party and Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Sadly no longer with us, like a lot of those great people from that period, starting to drop off the perch. But I keep a book of this world. But even more couldn't fail. But my baby's so vain, she is almost a mirror, and the sound of her name sends a permanent shiver down my spine, down my spine. But so the story goes, I think that they weren't happy with the sound. They were looking for something. They'd already outgrown sort of this new wave pop sound that they had on there, and we're looking for something a bit more aggressive, bit more challenging, shall we say. And so same band, changed the name, went to be known as The Birthday Party. And this is what it says in here. I'm lucky enough to have a Missing Link Records version from 1980. So back cover there. Yeah, some great stuff on here. Yeah, Mr. Clarinet, Hair Shirt. Yeah, great version of Gene Vincent's Catman. I'll just show you the inside. People like the labels. So, unfortunately, I don't have the live record. It's still living, but I've seen a few around, so I'm going to try and pick that up at some stage. And so, yeah, I think on some versions this is also credited to the Boys Next Door. I'm sure there's commenters out there who will correct me. I'm just going by memory. I don't want to sit here and just read off a computer, because that's boring. Cigarette fingers up and poke, and the smoke it touches the Anyway, so moved to England, if I'm correct, which I'm sure I'm probably not, but in my mind this is what happened. And they were stuck in England for quite a while, in poverty, and could barely live, let alone get a chance to record or play live. But once they did, they became the critics' darling of the London scene, but were quickly, they were not a fan of what was going on over there. They were big fans of the first wave of punk music, and when they got there, although I love bands like Echo and the Bunnymen and their ilk, these guys were far more ferocious and were not fitting into that scene at all. But they quickly developed a quite a cult following, and a decent crowd for their what would have been amazing live shows. And then this album, Prayers on Fire, I think this was also recorded in Australia. This is a reissue, I believe. This one, of course, got the great Zoo Music Girl, Cry, Nick the Stripper, famous one there, King Ink. And what do we got inside? This is I don't know what the hell this is, a GBD or something. I've had this for years and years, but it sounds alright to me. There's some inner lyrics there. Here we go. Recorded December 80 and January 81 at AAV Studios, Melbourne, and again engineered by Tony Cohen. Next in my chronology, if these were in the right order on the shelf, was a split, a live split with Lydia Lunch, yeah, called Drunk on the Pope's Blood. With what's going on in Australia at the moment, with all of the Catholics being offended by a comment on a mainstream TV channel. There's no way they could have said this these days. Anyway, yeah, it's subtitled 16 Minutes of Sheer Hell, November 81, live in Venice, and it pretty much describes it on the cover. It's full on, sounds pretty shit, but it's a hell of a performance, and that's, yeah, the kind of thing you'd expect to see Nick Cave in action back then, cigarette in hand, baiting the audience, like going bananas. I've heard stories of him kicking people and God knows what else. This one's on 4AD. That's that there.
I was never too close for this one. All I never touched about my dress. Flashbacks, lightning, just watch them out. Never talk to just finish my time. Sometimes pleasure heads fun.
Alright, so next this is also a reissue, which of Junkyard with the Ed Roth cover. Yeah, apparently the idea behind this was to make it as crass as possible sounding, and also with the cover art. And I think they achieved that, but this is a fantastic record. Here's the boys on the back there. Yeah, this is one's got She's Hit, Dead Joe, the notorious 6-inch blade, and yeah, brilliant stuff. On fire at this stage. This one comes with a 7-inch of Release the Bats and Blast Off, which is just black. And there's your inner there. And just a black vinyl. I do like how they've reproduced the cover artwork on the label there. Just red with the songs on the back. And this one also recorded at AAV Melbourne with Tony Cohen engineering. Yeah, they often, right through to the Bad Seeds days until recently, would travel back to Australia to record. And it also has a CD of the record contained. Now, next was getting into the final part of the birthday party. Phil Calvert kicked out of the band. Apparently they weren't happy with his drumming, which I find incredible, because he did some pretty fine stuff on those early records. And of course, who got the job? Mick Harvey. And this is their EP, The Bad Seed. I might have these in the wrong order, I can't remember, it's been a long time. This is on Mute, so I think it's like an early one. Oh, sorry, not a Mute, 4AD, I apologise, I think it's the other one that's on Mute. So there's your labels. So yeah, this is really strong. It's got Sunny's Burning, Deep in the Woods, Wild World, and Fear of Gun. So really, really amazing EP. Proving that maybe it was the right decision to get rid of Phil Calvert, even though I was quite the fan.
Our bodies melt together. We are one. Post-crucifixion, baby. Post-crucifixion, all undone. It's a wild world. It's a wild world. It's a wild world. It's a wild world. It's a wild world to be sure.
And then the last one, Mutiny. So what is it with rock bands and fascinations with swastikas? Anyway, and yeah, if you notice, that's what's going on with this one too, if you look carefully at the bigger picture. But yeah, disregarding that, this is incredible. Roland S. Howard, Mick Harvey on drums, Tracy Pugh, Nick Cave. So this has got Jennifer's Veil, Mutiny in Heaven, Swampland, and Say a Spell. So what a way to go out. This one is on mute. Incredible, yeah. And then a number of years later, I picked up this, which packages these two together in one album set, which I think was on Drastic Plastic, if I'm right. So that's pretty cool. How will I show this the other way around? Oh, and there's a Mutiny Sessions 7-inch, comes with that. Nice, I guess you'd call it a gold colour. And I'll just show you the other side. There's some cool pictures in here, so of them recording. Really nice package. This sounds absolutely fantastic too. This is, they've done it Drastic Plastic, but I like how they've done the labels to look like the 4AD, which is pretty cool. And that's a nice blue vinyl there. That one's the Bad Seed. And this is Mutiny. Cool red label there. Show you a few other bits and pieces which were issued after the band broke up, and probably also interest was help. I'm guessing like Birthday Party, it would have always been interest in them. They would have been a legacy band regardless of what Nick Cave did, because the albums are awesome. The stories you hear from the shows, they sound like they were just a force of nature live. So there's this Hee Haw, which has been out on CD and on vinyl. This is on Drastic Plastic. This is pretty much the first self-titled one that I showed you. that it's kind of confusing, the birthday party releases, because Missing Link and 4AD, there's like some weird stuff going on there with licensing and what have you. And again, this is, got those songs, Catman, Catholic Skin, Guilt Parade, The Friend Catcher, Mr. Clarinet, and here's the labels. But again, Jurassic Plastic, a lot of their stuff sounds really good. I got a stack of Damned records which sound brilliant too. Which I bought the CD of this in the 90s, and then this got reissued on 4AD. Now, if you want to hear a great live recording of the birthday party, I highly recommend picking up this. This is incredible. It's live 81, 82, and this is just, the sound's quite good as well. It gives you an idea of like that, what that Tracy Pugh bass rumble would have been like. This is really, really great live recording of a amazing, chaotic, fierce live band. So there's your track listing on the back, inside. So it's just on black vinyl, like so. I must say I do love that photo of Roland on the guitar with the dart in the mouth. He makes smoking look cool. But don't tell your parents that, children. Right, and but Peel Sessions, again, great live in studio, ferocious performances. Cry, Figure of Fun, King Ink, Release the Bats, great cover of Loose, the Stooges song. She's hit 6-inch Cold Blade, and it goes into the last couple of EPs with Deep in the Woods, Sunny's Burning, Pleasure at Avalanche, and this is also a double, and the sound's really good on this too. I think these are just black, so there we go. Righto. Nice stuff. just a couple of things to end off. A couple of 7 inches. Friend catcher, backed with Waving My Arms and Catman. Don't have to tell you already, fantastic stuff. This is a 4AD. And a release the bats. That's why I wore this shirt. As you can see, they're all little bats. And yeah, backed with Blast Off, again on 4AD. Great stuff. Little weird bit on the label there, but plays fine. Yeah, obviously there were heaps more 7 inches and 12 inches, which I will endeavour to get as life goes on. And lastly, a DVD, which called Pleasure Heads Must Burn, which has like promos and TV appearances. So you've got like the stripper promo, which is, you have to see to believe it. And yeah, live in the Hacienda 1982, and again in the Hacienda in 1983. Like, quality so-so, but you know, it's all you're gonna get to see their footage of them live. And then there you go. So I'm gonna end it there because this is a 20-minuter. Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll get into what happens next with Nick Cave. See you next time.